Hey, what's up, y'all? I got a question. I got a question to the fellas. Are y'all curious what men are going to be like 2 months from now and beyond after being exposed to the manosphere? What kind of men are we putting back out into this world? Because if you really knew what was on the other side of some of these cameras, for the flock that's learning from these bigger content creators and some of these smaller content creators, and you know, just the manosphere in itself, what do the flock look like on the opposite side of the camera? And if I'm taking a wild guess, I'm assuming you have a bunch of gamers out there, some loners, some socially awkward dudes, some men that's not real successful with women, some less desirables, maybe some overweight dudes who are not real successful with women, or maybe you do have some successful dudes that just focus on other things, just not that good with women. That's the majority of the flock that's learning from these content creators that's, feeding this knowledge. Now, some of the knowledge is great. It's a lot of it that's good, but it's a lot of it is a bunch of BS, and a lot of it is some scam, and a lot of it is spam. A lot of it is some bullshit that they just putting out there, and you guys are eating it up. And just like, when people go to church and they just feeding that collection plate because they getting everything that they need to hear. But then as soon as they leave those church doors, back to the real world, back to your socially awkward self, back to your lonerism, back to being a less desirable, and not getting any real help. So I'm curious of what the men are going to look like from this point forward after being exposed to the manosphere. I got hip to it 2 months ago, and I was intrigued because these are things that I always talked about as a man. Some concerns I always had as a man when it came to man and female relationships. And these are things that the majority of men have experienced before they set foot into the manosphere world. But are the flock leaving with a good understanding of what needs to be done? Of getting to know self and becoming a better man, becoming a wiser man, becoming a person that concentrate on becoming a better version of you. And as the man get better, the women become better. But is the flock going to be trusted to take those responsibilities to take the next step? So I'm just curious, man, who's on the other side of that camera? I really am. Because when you look in the comment section, like say if I comment on, let's say a big YouTube content creator post something, and I get into the comment section and, discuss some things or voice my opinion. Some of the guys that's in that comment section and some of the slander that goes back and forth, and it's like these guys just not even getting it. They just here just for a little battle. It's like if you play a video game online, you could be playing some dude in Europe that's 11, and he calling you niggas and he calling you bitches, and you know what I'm saying, but he's not really, engaged in the actual game. He's just more engaged with being in that atmosphere online to where he can flex his muscle because he's quote unquote like a nobody on the other side of the camera. So we gotta be careful with that because some of the content creators that we listen to aren't who they project themselves to be. Let's just be honest. Let's be careful with who we prop up to be our leaders, and let's pay attention to the flock that they're creating. And that's the question I got. What are the men going to look like after being exposed to the manosphere and its height to becoming mainstream? Because it's about to pop. It's been bubbling and bubbling and bubbling for years. It's about to pop and go mainstream. And we're going to see how it affects young black men, even older black men. And I'm just curious to see what this thing actually created. That's all I got. Just hit me up in the comments. Tell me what you think. Throw some ideas at me. I just want to have a conversation. What kind of flock is being created from this actual manosphere? Is it for the good? Could it be all bad? I'm just curious. All right, let me know.